your 7-figure marketing and sales playbooks free, the webinar, and the playbook. And you're probably wondering, well, Lee, what in God's name is a playbook? Well, don't worry about it, because we are going to, look at that, Gloria. I advanced the slide and didn't even know I was doing it.
There you go.
Gloria's making me use a platform I've never used. So I'm like almost breaking out in hives. But because, you know, I am a creature of habit. But anyway, let's get a move on, guys. We're recording this. The recording will be made available to you. You're going to want, this is not just, we're not just sitting here blowing smoke. I mean, yes, we've blown smoke for about 4 minutes, but we're not just sitting here blowing hot air. You're going to, this is a webinar that you're going to want to refer to the recording for, probably look at it several times. Gloria, you've outdone yourself on this, but I'm not going to steal your thunder. I will just say, when you showed me what you showed me, I think for one of the very few times in my life, I was absolutely speechless, really. So guys, yeah. I'm going to ask you a question. I know you've seen this, heard this, had people promise this to you before. Let's just start at ground zero, you know, new slate, new day and all that. How would you like to know exactly what to sell and who to sell it to? Attract only the right clients, have prospects completely pre-sold, and be able to close them easily, rapidly, and painlessly. And I know you've been promised this before, but let's put aside some of the well-earned cynicism. And I got the cynicism too, guys. I mean, that's just part of what fuels me in bringing and working with people like Gloria and bringing stuff that actually does work to you, okay? Instead of stuff that just makes a bunch of promises. Kathy says, bring it. I'm sure Kathy doesn't say it like that.
You'll love it. You'll love it, Kathy.
I'm a little stoked, as you know, Gloria. I've been so excited about this. Know exactly what to sell, who to sell it to, attract only the right clients, have prospects completely sold, and be able to close them easily, rapidly, and painlessly today. You got to stay to the end, guys, because we're going to give you something. And again, there's no BS in this webinar at all. I mean, you know, there isn't in things that I'm involved in. Hang on a minute. I'd hit the mute button and cough. But anyway, because it's also spring, go figure. Stay to the end. We got something amazing to give you. You're going to see it on the webinar and you're going to want it, and we're going to give it to you for free. So stay to the end. Now in this webinar, let me tell you what's coming your way. Gloria's going to show it to us because she created this. But in this webinar, you will witness an AI-driven process that will give you, and I'm talking about you as an individual, in only 4 steps, a powerful, unique business model tailored specifically to you. Before I read the rest of these bullet points, who is starting to sit up and take notice? Who just said, seriously? A unique, powerful business model tailored to me? Dennis says me. Yeah, Mike, hey buddy. Who else? Who else is going from, yeah, Lee, I've heard this before too. Seriously? Olive is already in. Well, Olive knows us well. So does Dennis and Mike and Patty. Patty says, bring it. Patty and Kathy are going to get together and say, bring it. But anyway, they're not going to sound like that. So your problem, now I'm talking to you as an individual, because who besides me, I remember getting started in these businesses years and years and years ago. You buy one thing and I mean, you're basically buying business models, right? You know, you buy one thing, you learn a little bit, it doesn't quite work for you. You buy another thing, you know, you go through that, it doesn't quite work for you. You get a little bit out of one thing, you get a little bit out of the other thing, and you're confused. That's because it's not tailored specifically to you as an individual, and you're wondering, how in the heck could Gloria's going to do this? How in the heck could Gloria tailor something to me as an individual just on a webinar for free? You're going to see. The problem of what to sell, how to sell, and who to sell it to for you will be forever solved. Big, big promise. Tell me if I'm wrong at the end of the webinar. Using our AI-driven engine, and this is not a engine. I want you to think Formula One race car, NASCAR, whichever kind of cars you like. AI-driven engine. Each of you individually will walk away from this webinar with a business model that will fit you so well, your business will virtually build itself. We're talking about your hand in an old glove. It's like an old glove. It's going to feel like, it's going to be new to you, but it's going to feel like an old glove, like an old, nice, comfortable pair of shoes. This business model will fit you so well, your business will virtually build itself. I know you're excited because a lot of people have said they're excited. And Gloria, you excited?
I am. I really, really am. You know, this is a result of some deep thinking, and yeah, I'm happy to share.
No, I mean, it's literally mind-blowing. What, you know, when you show this, somebody has said, no, beep, you can actually do that. Gloria is going to reveal Gloria is going to reveal to us, to you, a never before seen, no joke, nobody has ever seen anything like this. AI process that will, in only 4 steps, will build your unique business model for you. Mark, you're going to have your own business model that will fit you, fit your strengths, fit your weaknesses, fit your interests, fit your background, fit where you are on the newbie to expert spectrum. It's going to fit you. Chuck, you're going to have your unique business model that's going to fit you. How can we do this, guys? By the power and the magic of AI. Chuck, you're going to have your unique business model. Patty, you're going to have your unique business model. Olive, Mike, Dennis, Kathy, y'all all going to have your unique business models. And just as individuals, you're different from each other, your unique business models are going to be different from each other, tweaked for you through the power of AI. Now, before Gloria steals the, whatever, gets the baton, steals the baton, whatever you're going to do, Gloria, before you do it. What we're going to show you is absolutely going to blow your mind. Yes, Lois, so many people struggle with this when starting and up-leveling. Well said, thank you. Yeah. What Gloria's going to show you is absolutely going to blow your mind, but this is literally the tip of the iceberg. We're doing this for free. It is literally the tip of the iceberg. Now, after this webinar, you will be able to take what Gloria shows you. We're going to give you this thing. You'll see what it is in a minute. We're going to give you this thing for free, and you will be able to create your own business model tailored to you. Gloria, I'm figuring it's going to take about 15 minutes for them to go through everything and tailor their own unique business model, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if you want, after this webinar, everything I've told you, you get for free today. Now, if you want after this webinar to take this foundation, because you're getting the foundation today for free, and finally build the business of your dreams, Gloria and I have created a new masterclass using the same AI technology that you're about to see. Okay, I'm going to tell you about it just 1 second. Think about what you're getting today as the blueprint, and think about the master classes of the whole freaking Empire State Building, just built, shiny marble floor. They give you the keys, you walk in, you're the first person in there, and it's tailored to you, your own Empire State Building. Today is the blueprint. Through the master class, you will have the business built, okay? I mean, you get the metaphor, right? By the end of the master class, you will have every aspect of your entire unique business completely laid out and built for you. No thinking required. The AI does it all for you. All you're going to have to do after the masterclass is wake up in the morning, turn to page 1, and you will see what you turn to page 1 on. Gloria's going to show this to you. Turn to page 1 and get started. No more confusion, no more chaos, no more failure. How about it, Gloria?
All right.
Shall I pass the baton to you, and you showed them what you showed me?
You've set such a high bar. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, well, Gloria, I mean, you know, the high bar I set is like a low bar for you, so don't worry about it. You ready to be a presenter?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Gloria's going to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay, you can see the screen there.
Indeed, we can. Everybody see Gloria's screen? It says customers on a little round thing, and then it says Gloria's agency playbook, and it's got a ton of stuff. And you're wondering what this thing is, just like I was when Gloria showed this to me. So Gloria, reveal what you got, because again, it's totally mind blowing.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I'm really glad to bring this all to you, by the way. And I guess I'll first start and just kind of share a little bit about why I did this and my, how I came to this so that you understand my thinking on this. And what you're looking at right now is it's a platform called Notion. And what that is it's kind of a centralized, think of it as your central hub where you can bring a lot of stuff in. So you really don't have to get distracted. You can do links to web pages, you can create charts in there, you can import spreadsheets and do everything from inside of here. So you don't have to worry about getting distracted, and you could throw YouTube videos in here if you want to, everything. So
Gloria,
Yeah.
because there's some people on this webinar who are new to our world. Can you explain Notion a little bit and what you mean by a playbook?
Yeah, so think of Notion. So Notion is a platform, and what I'm showing you, it's free. Okay, you don't have to pay anything for Notion. Everything that you're getting, including the AI capability, will work with a free Notion. All right, so you just have to go ahead and go to Notion.so and sign up. And then what I can do, and I'll do this, is I'll copy and I'll give you the link, and all you got to do is import that link. I've got instructions for how to do that so that you'll have it inside of your own Notion and it'll be your own thing, okay? And so what a playbook is kind of like, if you think about like an NFL playbook or an NBA playbook, it's the rules of the game, right? And it makes sure that it covers the entire field. It covers like what the other players are doing, what you should be doing, all of that stuff, very specific. I kind of like to think of it, a playbook, in terms of like for what we use it for sales and marketing, as a recipe. It goes a little bit deeper than a framework. A framework just kind of gives you like the skeleton, right? But a playbook gives you the skeleton, the tendons, the ligaments. I know that sounds horrible, everything. It gives you everything. So all you really have to do is open up your playbook, and then you follow the playbook, and that's how you build your business. You build the systems, and then you follow the systems, and you don't deviate from the systems, right? But there's a problem with that. So we've got and I'm going to open this up in just a second, the 7-figure playbook here, and there's a problem with that theory, I guess is the best way to put it, where all I've got to do is, just follow a process. Somebody, I saw somebody do really, really well with XYZ, selling YouTube ads or selling Facebook ads or whatever. And they lay everything out, and it's like you follow it, but you're not having that same level of success. Why is that, right? And I got to really thinking about this type of stuff. I guess, and I was joking with Lee a few seconds ago, I think too deeply about this stuff, apparently. And I'm really kind of getting into a lot of mindfulness type of training and stuff, just so that I can not expand my mind, but just practice better discipline on my mind, have a better mindset and stuff like that. And it really got me thinking about what's going on in the marketing world, and the implications of ChatGPT, and how trust is a big issue, and why we just can't copy a strategy and have that same level of success. And I really believe a lot of it comes down to trust. And it also comes down to who we are as human beings, right? So maybe that person that was really, really good, like Lee is really, really good at Facebook ads. For me, it just the thought of Facebook ads and managing that is torturous. Looking at a bunch of different ad sets, and it's too granular for the way my brain works. So I would probably never succeed at that. And what happens is I would get it, I would be excited, say I'd get the course on it, and then I try it, but my brain doesn't work that way. I don't work that way. Who I am doesn't like the things that this system is telling me I need to do in order to make it work. And so what ultimately happens is I get frustrated, and I give up because it's not working for me, right? And so how do we really fix that? to where we can figure out what works for us as people, based on, we all come to the table, we all bring something to the table. We all did not fall off the turnip truck just yesterday, right? We have past experiences. We've done work in different fields before. The way that we communicate and operate and interact with people is different than the next person, right? And so the way that we do all of these things, that consists of who we are as people, but also it really impacts the things that we kind of gravitate to and the things that we like to do. Is if you ever notice, like, how many of you, like me, find yourselves doing the things you love to do over and over and over and over again, and it doesn't seem like work at all. But the things that I don't like to do, it's like pulling teeth, right? It's very difficult to get me to do that, and that's why I'm trying to practice more discipline and all that type of stuff. And I was getting into the discipline thing. I realized that discipline doesn't, it has something to do with it, but it's really not about discipline. It's really about who I am as a person. And if I find the things that I'm really good at and I build my business around those things that I know I can do and find the perfect match for what I can do, what's going to ultimately happen is that I am going to have that level of success. Is that making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Do we have questions on this?
Well, Gloria, folks, let us know if you're understanding this, because understanding this is really important. But Gloria, it's also about authenticity, right? Because if you're doing what you're good at, if you're doing what you like, and you're talking to a client, or a client sees your content online and all that stuff, it's all totally congruent, as you say, or as somebody said. Ken, you said this. It's all totally congruent. It lines up, and people are going to say, yeah, that person knows what they're talking about. Yes, I trust that person. You're going to be, Patty, amen to that. Patty says, I love to write. I hate taxes. Yeah, this is why we hire people to do them, right? So, exactly. Patty, that's a really, really good, that's a good example. You love to write, you love to communicate, but you hate all the numbers, numbers stuff, right? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so I got to really thinking about that, and I thought, really, if we could find a way to figure out what our strengths are, and immediately from my from my days back in like project management and, kind of doing operational stuff for corporations, I went to a SWOT analysis. And I thought, that I like that thought because it lays out, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of a SWOT analysis before? SWOT. It's a quadrant, so it's like, think of a box and then you put a box with a cross in it, and what you do is you list out your strengths, and then you list out, as a company, you list out your strengths, you list out your weaknesses, you look for opportunities in the market, in your field, et cetera. And then also, what are threats, right? So threats to you being able to make it work, things like that. And I liked that SWOT analysis, but it really wasn't 100% applicable to what we're doing. It's really strengths, weaknesses, and then we've got opportunities, and then it should, out of that, you should get your area of focus, right? And so I kind of changed it a little bit and called it a SWOF analysis. F is for the focus. And so the idea is, once you get this, is you're going to go ahead, and I put in this stuff just so you had a sample. This is kind of just stuff that I wrote, things that I think are my strengths, right? And so what you're going to want to do in here is to go ahead and you can write it down on a separate document, or write it down in here, it doesn't matter. But when you write it down, go ahead and write it down with each, don't do like a list, okay? Because if you do a list, it's going to be very difficult to copy and paste it into the AI. But all you've got to do is take these and follow the formula. So step one is to go through and think about, what am I really good at? What are my superpowers at? What do I like to do? And then what do I not like to do? And you can see here, I put, like, for the things I like to do, I like helping businesses. I'm kind of, okay technically. I like creating systems, and I just kind of went like free forming, just thinking all the things that I thought were my strengths, right? And then what I did is I put down a bunch of things that I thought were my weaknesses, things that I really don't like doing. And then what I did is, so you don't have to fill this in, and then I wrote down, what are opportunities, like what are areas that I think I would like, or businesses, the types of businesses I would like to work with, right? And so I put down, some different businesses I'd like to work with, and the reason why I think I would be good at that. So you want to put down, don't just do a list of businesses like accountants and dentists and stuff, and put a little bit about why you want to, why you think those businesses would be opportunities for you. Okay. And so what you're going to want to do is, once you get all of this in, okay, now this is where we have the AI. So this bit right here.
Gloria, can you hang on one second? Because I just want to, we got a ton of people are making a ton of great comments.
Oh.
These examples are gold, Gloria. Mike, absolutely. When Gloria showed me this, and we haven't really gotten into this part yet. We just getting started. And Patty says, and Patty and I were kind of having a little side conversation here. Patty says, this looks great. This stuff is hard to do. We don't like to talk about ourselves. That's why resume is, hard but important. And I said back to Patty, and it's really hard to see yourself on this level, and it's almost impossible to take that information and feed it into a business blueprint, a business model, a business plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's almost impossible, folks. So you guys could take what Gloria just showed you, the SWOT analysis. I mean, you could sit and write all that stuff down and all that stuff. But how do you feed that into a business plan? How do you go from there to, oh my God, I finally know what kind of business I need to be running, what to sell, who to sell it to, how to run it. Got it? Cool. Carry on, Gloria.
Yeah. So, what you're going to want to do, and the free Notion gives you certainly enough for these 4 steps or 5 steps. I actually created an extra step, Lee. I didn't mention it, but I'll explain it. It's a definite positive. Okay. So what happens here is we feed this information. So we're going to feed. Once you get the strengths down, and you're going to write them down just like this, you can do a period or a comma, it doesn't matter. The thing is, you don't want to do a list because it won't copy into this little AI box, but you can copy, if it's a whole like paragraph structure. So you take once you get done, and you probably are going to have to sit and think, or you might ask someone that you trust to say, what do you think my strengths are, in business, and, as an employee, as working, all that type of stuff. And people that know you will be able to help you, maybe at least give you some triggers. But when you get done with this, and it might take you a little bit, a couple minutes to kind of think through and really think, like, what are the things that I really think I'm strong at? And what are things that I'm really not that good at? And what are the things that the businesses that I really want to work with, and why do I want to work with them? What is it about those businesses that would make me want to work with them, right? And so when you get all that done, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy all of these into, okay, the AI. And you can see right here is the AI box. So you've got the instructions where it says copy and paste your answers. Sorry about that. That's a mistake. Area answers, and ask the AI the following question. We already went ahead and put this in here, but a lot of times it will, like, once you do it once, then this disappears. So you might have to copy and paste it back in again. Okay. I should aware the type of services I should offer. So let's go ahead and let me just add this too, because I think this will help. I thought I did this. I apologize. act as my because you're going to copy this exact one, so I want it to be perfect for you. Sorry about that. Okay, so in case, you know, we lose this and we have that. So what you would do is we would copy it right here, okay? And then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go up to the opportunities, and I'm going to copy this. Okay, and then I'm going to go here, and then this is going to be the stuff that I struggle with. Okay.
While Gloria's doing all the copying, guys, I want you to notice that although we're using AI, she's copying this directly into these fields within Notion, within the Notion playbook, and you're going to get what you're seeing here. You can get for free. This field and Notion integrates with ChatGPT. So you don't even have to go outside of Notion to ChatGPT and, you know, copy and, you know, move stuff around and get confused and all that. All you have to do is just copy this stuff into the fields. Wham, bam. What drops out of it is fairly amazing.
Yeah. So I did this, and if you want to use ChatGPT, I've got the link right up here. You can go directly to ChatGPT and copy and paste back and forth. So you can do that as well, because like I said, you get about 20 of them with Notion, 20 in outputs, I think is what it's called, with a free version of Notion. So if you want to use it more, you can just go to ChatGPT. So all right, so I did that, and then now I'm going to go ahead and hit update. Okay, and then now you can see what it's saying. It says, based on your strengths, you should focus on providing marketing services to small business and technical and software related industries. You could also focus on creating content for technical solution providers or assisting, you know, so it gives me now, okay, it's giving me a framework, right? It's kind of telling me based on what I told it, these are some areas that are probably going to be good for me because it focuses on my strengths, what I like to do, not what I don't like to do. Okay, and then so what I would do is I would take that.
Well, hang on a minute, because I want to make sure everybody understands this. So guys, you know, Gloria filled out the SWOT analysis for Gloria, right? Now, my SWOT analysis would look entirely different. Matter of fact, it'd be the polar opposite from Gloria's because our brains are kind of like total opposites. And yours is going to be different, John. Yours is going to be different, Lois. Yours is going to be different. You go through the SWOT analysis for yourself, you take that, you pop that in there, and then the AI is going to tell you in detail what kind of business you need to be running. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you can just type over these or copy them to another document or something so that, you know, you have them as examples basically. So I get my focus area, and you can see it tells me what I should be, you know, kind of the type of work that I should be focusing on. So now my world is getting a little bit narrower. Remember, if you've ever heard this in marketing before, where you should go deep, right? You don't try to be all things to all people. You find your tribe, and then you add value to your tribe, right? And so that's what this helps you do. It helps you figure out the types of businesses that you should be working with based on what you said you like to do and how you operate. Okay, so now we have this first, so we have step 2, and then now for step 3, it says, let me see, write down that, okay, so what we want to do is in this box, we're going to go ahead and what are the type of marketing, and you can see here, it's create based on the marketing, I act like a chief marketing officer. So I'm asking it from a marketing perspective what things I should do based on the marketing activities I like to do. Okay, this way I can stay away from Facebook ads, because to me it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. To Lee it's not, but to me it is. So this will help me decide what I should be focusing on. So I'm just going to list a couple of marketing activities that I like. Okay, so you can see here, do at least 5 of them. If you have more, the things that you like to do, go ahead and list those. So I'm going to say I like to create content to create, let me see, so what else do I like to create? I like to create video scripts. I like to, let me see, a couple other things that I like to do. I like to write okay, so now I told it, I gave it these things, and then I gave it some instructions, right? So it's going to generate. Okay, and so it's saying that focusing on content marketing, you're going to showcase your strengths in creating high quality, informative content while generating leads and building your brand. Okay, so you can see here that it just honed in on exactly what I should be doing based on what I told it I like to do, right? And so I would go ahead and pop that in here. So I have it down here. And then for step 4, now what I'm going to do, and you can see here, I said, based on these activities, create a profile of what, sorry, I could have swore I fixed this. Sales activities based on my, okay. Okay, so it's going to take my sales, my marketing activities that I should focus on, and the sales activities I like to do. Okay, so now I'm going to say, okay, I think that's probably enough. Okay, so I'm kind of telling it the things that I like to do. Okay. So here we go. And then you can, kind of play with it if you're wanting, like, oh, it's not giving me enough information, right? And so it's saying, based on your sales activities, you should focus on consultative selling and cold email marketing. Your love for networking in person can be translated to virtual networking. This is really good. Building relationships through social media like LinkedIn. You should consider utilizing social media to share your expertise. May not be the best, but you can leverage your strengths in creating content to attract and nurture leads. Okay, you see how it's telling me exactly what I need to do and what I need to focus on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this in down here.
Well, while you're doing that, because I mean, guys, make sure you understand, she told the AI that she liked network meetings, and the AI basically, I mean, the subtext between the lines. The AI basically said, yeah, but those take a lot of time. An easier, a better use of that part of your personality would be social media marketing, building relationships with people on social media, et cetera, et cetera. Very cool, huh?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Are you guys, what do you guys think? Are we getting any comments on this, or people seeing the vision, or is
So
it
what do you
just
think so
me?
far, guys? I mean, once Gloria fills in all this stuff, we're going to go back over it and we're going to show you what she came out with. And we're going to give you what you're looking at here for free today. You have this webinar. It will be recorded, and you will be able to go through your own Notion playbook and create your own framework for your business. Now, again, in the masterclass, which starts next week, we're going to take that framework and flesh it out, right? It's kind of like what you got here is a skeleton. In the masterclass, we're going to put the muscles and all that stuff on it and make it into a real thing. Chuck, absolutely, it is outstanding. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, good. Okay, you guys are, some of you guys are, you're seeing it. That's awesome. I just want to make sure that.
Hang on, Gloria, because Mike, we got a ton of great comments.
Oh.
Mike says, my mind is already starting to focus differently on what I thought I should be doing as a business focus. Yes, I went through this too. When Gloria showed me this, I went through it and I thought, oh, well, that's kind of a little different spin on things, right? Olive has a great way of talking about this. Yeah, Olive, I hadn't even thought about looking at it like that. This is like my own personal mentor,
Yes.
but I can be honest with it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody's going to see this but you, right?
That's right.
And it's going to help you focus, find your strengths, right? Things you like to do, avoid the things you don't like to do. And it's going to focus that step by step into pouring it into the creation of one of these businesses. I call them laptop lifestyle businesses. Other people call them online businesses. But it's step by step. It's going to take who you are and focus it on what you should be doing. The timing of this is great. Just in time for Q2. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Mentor
Yeah.
coach,
So true.
it's an awesome tool. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you guys get it, because, if you ultimately do the things that are more geared to your strengths, you're going to find them more enjoyable. It won't be like pulling teeth, and you'll do that more consistently. And then as a result, you'll get better results because of it. You'll kind of find your place in all of this, if that makes sense. And that's what this is designed to do, is to help you with that.
Gloria, after you showed me this, and I was kind of thinking about it like a few days later, and I was thinking, it literally took me years to go through this process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I started back in I started doing this stuff in 2007 and went full time in 2010. But when I started doing this stuff, I was just stumbling around. I was trying things. A lot of stuff was hateful. Some of it worked, some of it didn't work. I was trying to go through all that. And then I had about a year later, it took me, I'm slow. Okay, I'm a little slow. A year later, I had this epiphany, right? Well, I finally figured out the things that I should be focusing on. But then over the years, I just sort of whittled that down to where I really just focus on a few things, and I make a ton more money, and I work a heck of a lot less, and it's not work. And it took me years to go through that process. And folks, you can go through this process within, if we're not sitting here talking, it would take you all of 15 minutes to go through this process.
Yeah. And if the answers are not deep enough for you, if you think it's just too superficial and you kind of want to know more, just like Olive said, this is kind of like your virtual coach, and that you can be 100% honest with. Nobody else is going to see it. And you can ask the AI, can you be more specific and give me, more ideas or whatever? And it'll do it. And then if you wanted to go ahead and copy this text over to ChatGPT, you can do that. You might have ChatGPT trained a little bit differently based on your interactions with it, right? So it might give you something a little bit different than what Notion would. Even though Notion is attached to ChatGPT, it does not have any learning. It hasn't learned from you yet, right? This is kind of its first dive, if you will. So now we kind of have all this, and I'm glad you guys are seeing it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and for step 5, I'm going to go ahead and copy everything that I've done so far. So, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT, based on all the previous output, build a profile of the types of businesses I should market to. Okay, that's thing number 1. The types of services I should offer. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, the type of marketing activities I should focus on to generate leads. That's thing number 3. And how I should sell to those leads to convert them to customers. It's giving me everything. Okay, well, what else do I need but a thing, a company, what type of business to sell to, what should I sell it, how should I get the word out, how should I market, and then how should I actually sell? It's giving me all that. That's really like the 4 things that you need, right? And so that's exactly what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy. So we've got the focus stuff. Remember, we did that from feeding the strengths, opportunities, and weaknesses into the AI, and it gave us the focus. And so now that I kind of have a focus, now I'm going to take my focus and then I'm going to take step 3, which is about the marketing activities. And then step 4 is the sales activities. And then ask it to come up with the types of businesses, the type of services, the type of marketing, and the type of sales that I should be doing. I don't know. I hope you guys are excited about this because that's kind of a big deal. It's it's not a little thing, right? So okay, so I'm going to copy and let's go ahead and just start copying and pasting. And you can say, I'm telling it, act like a chief growth officer, so it gives me really good, solid advice. Okay, so it's going from a different perspective. It's taking its ChatGPT hat off, and it's putting on a chief growth officer hat on, if you will. Okay, so I'm going to copy this in there as well. I did 2, now I'm doing 3. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I don't know, I don't think highlighting it is a big deal, but maybe that way it'll know that it's different. So I did the marketing step 3, I just copied this in here. And then now what I'm going to do is underneath step 4, where I copied from the AI bit, I'm just going to copy this in there as well. Okay, so copy. And again, I'm going to ask it, the types of businesses, the types of services, the type of marketing, and the type of sales. Let's see what it does here. Okay, based on the previous input, so it kind of summarizes everything for us, creating content for technical solution providers. It gives me a couple different businesses based on what I said, recruitment, accounting, law firms, my technical background. I could do businesses that are in that realm. And so I would look at this and say, how much do I really like HVAC companies? How much do I like recruitment companies? Out of these types of companies, which ones really, float my boat the most, right? Which ones do I get most excited about working with? And then I would go ahead and say, tell me more, and maybe ask it to specialize in marketing. That will help you stand out as a service provider. I could go ahead and get a little bit more specific. And then we kind of knew this based on my strengths: content marketing, in-depth white paper. So now I have a thing I can sell. Okay, I can say, out of these things, what type of content marketing do I really like to do? And the white papers I really would enjoy to do, to charge like really big money and create really deep white papers, because I'm a geek and that's what geeks like to do, right? And so now I have something. So I would take the things that I go, okay, I'm into that. I like that. And then it's saying how, it gives me some ideas how to generate leads. And if I want to get it to be more specific, I can say I need a more detailed, marketing or lead generation strategy around email marketing and social media. Give me specifics, and it'll come up with as detailed as a content calendar and what to post in that content calendar if I wanted to. Okay. So it's giving me kind of the things that I want, and then it's telling me the type of selling I should do. So my strength is consultative selling, attract and nurture leads. So I need to kind of go the long game and go attraction marketing, versus, kind of the demand generation through generating ads and stuff like that. So yeah, so anyway, so this is kind of it. And so, what you want to do with this is you want to say, does that really make sense for me? Is that a good match for me? Or do I need to go back and kind of tweak things a little bit so that I get better output, So yeah. Any
Gloria,
questions?
what I'm seeing here,
Hmm.
is I've known you since like 2011, right?
I know it's been a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like 12 years.
Hmm.
And, you used to be a customer of mine, right?
Hmm. That's
And then
right.
you and I became friends, and I've watched you build several businesses, but I've
Hmm.
also watched your trajectory, right? I watched you go from selling, I think your original business was just selling SEO,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
the way everybody else was selling SEO.
Hmm.
And I've watched you go from there to this whole thought leadership business. And what is amazing to me is you just went through this playbook, right?
Hmm.
And you didn't tell it at the top, hey, these are already the things I know that I need to do because I spent 10 years figuring this out. You didn't tell it that, right?
Mm-mm.
You did your
Mm-mm.
SWOT analysis. You went through the steps. And here this damn thing is, excuse the French, here this thing is telling you the things that you need to sell, who you need to sell it to, and the depth, kind of the angle, and it's telling you exactly what I watched happen to you over a period of a decade.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
Yeah,
freaking
based
mind
on,
blowing.
yeah, yeah. So that right there is pretty wild because you're right. I've done several things until I kind of had to find my place in the world, right? And we all do. This just
Yeah.
shortens it a lot and gets you to the revenue a lot faster than taking that, like 10 years, right? You don't want to do 10 years, seriously, right?
Well, I mean, it's 10 years of struggle, stumbling
Hmm.
around when you could really go through this and you can get down to the nitty gritty of who you are and how that translates itself into the kinds of businesses that we run, what you should sell, who you should sell it to, how you should sell it, right?
Hmm.
So that, and again, guys, I mean, this right here is mind blowing. It was to me. I mean, Mike agrees with me. He says this is mind blowing stuff, and I can't wait to get to the big picture. Yeah, he's referring to the to the master class,
Hmm.
which you
Yeah.
don't have to take, guys. We're going to give you this document plus instructions on how to use it, how to get Notion, and all that stuff today. Just a link. You can download the instructions and do the whole thing. But
Hmm.
this is amazing to me because you and I both just like figured this stuff out for ourselves. And folks, you've probably already, those of you who know us well, probably have already figured out that Lee is like Gloria's polar opposite,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
But we figured this stuff out for ourselves so that we now run businesses that are highly profitable, that don't take a lot of time, and that we really deeply enjoy, right?
Hmm.
I mean, there's nothing better than doing that, believe me. And it took us both a long time to figure that stuff out, to not be so influenced. Shiny object syndrome, folks, comes from, I think, frustration, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Shiny object syndrome comes from frustration. Frustration creates self-doubt. And then you wonder, well, wait a minute, should I be, I mean, just as an example, should I be selling content stuff? Or should I be over here doing Fiverr stuff, editing videos for people because I just bought this other info product, which is probably totally valid for people who like doing that. I would hate that, by the way. But and then you go to the next thing, and then you try the next thing, and then you try the next thing, because and Gloria and I, you and I both went through this, albeit
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're trying to bump around and figure out what you're good at and who you are and how you relate to the marketplace. And it is a hell of a long and can be remarkably expensive process. And
Hmm.
what you've got here, Gloria, is you just cut straight to the mustard, folks. You can go through this, think about it as you go through this, go through it mindfully, but you can go through this and you can see, oh, well, that's what I need to focus on. And it's going to make sense because, I read this last part, Gloria, and I'm sitting here reading it, just nodding up and down. Yeah, that's Gloria. That's Gloria. That's Gloria. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
Mike, we got
uncanny.
some LinkedIn stuff coming out in a couple of weeks, by the
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
He says, I did this list in 1970, got married. It's working. I'm assuming you stayed married. That's excellent. But yeah, guys, this is
Hmm.
it. This is Notion.so. These things are called playbooks, or at least that's what Gloria and I call them.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to get this whole process. Gloria, can you kind of roll up and just kind of summarize? We go from the SWOT analysis, we learn this, we get that, and wham bam, finally, it tells me what to sell, who to sell it to, how to sell it. Can you
Hmm.
just summarize that for us?
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, this is all based on you. And what you're doing is we're figuring out, or we're documenting, we're writing down what our strengths are. What are we good at? What are we good at? Good and comfortable at doing, right? And then we go, what do we don't like doing? And what do we probably suck at? Well, that's the weaknesses, and you put that down. And then the opportunities are, what are the types of things I like doing, and who are the types of people I like working with. So you want to, I like working with accountants. I understand, you can see I put that down. I understand their business model. I understand how software companies, kind of their life cycle, all of that stuff. So I just put down things that I felt like I was really who I liked working with, and kind of really why. That's really what it is who you want to work with and why you want to work with them, right? And so we've got our strengths, our weaknesses, who we want to work with, and why we want to work with them. And what we do is we fill this out, and then we go down and we copy these three, the strengths, the opportunities, and the weaknesses, into box number 2. And what it does is it'll spit out the focus, okay? And this is kind of just helping you, because this is probably a lot all over the place. And so you want to kind of hone in a little bit more, so you get a little bit more streamlined, and you don't have to look at all these different things. So we have this area of focus, and you're just going to copy and from the AI and put your focus area, and then also put it here, so you kind of have it as you're working through this Notion document. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, because remember, what the focus is really a summary and an analysis of our strengths, our weaknesses, and who we like to work with and why. Okay, so we're going to kind of give that to the AI, and what the AI is going to do, it's going to basically say, you can see here who I should focus on, or what I should focus on as it pertains to the type of companies and the types of services. And I told it, act as my career coach and performance coach, guiding me to make the right decision. So now I'm telling the AI to put on your career coach hat and guide me and tell me what I should be doing. Okay. And so it takes that, and then what it'll do is it'll go ahead and, based on what I like to do, what my strengths are, what I don't like to do, it's going to go ahead, excuse me. So for step 3, what's going to happen? So this is going to be for the big picture down in step 5. Now for step 3, what we want to do is we want to kind of really think about, and we're going to put directly in the AI box, what we like to do. Okay, so marketing wise, what type of marketing do I like to do? For me, I like content, probably like lead magnets, checklist, white papers, that type of thing. Anything to do with content, I think that's probably my strength. And so that's kind of what I'm telling it. what I like to do. And then based on that, it gives me some information, right? It gives me output and says what I should focus on. Because that's what I said. Based on the marketing activities, create a profile of what marketing activities I should focus on based on my strengths. So it's going to do that. And then I ask it to do and so I'm going to copy this and put it down here in the section right below. And then in step 4, now I'm asking it about the sales piece of it. So now I've got my marketing, what marketing should I do based on my strengths? And now I'm going to ask it what sales types of things I should do. Like if I said to you guys, if you cold called every day for 3 years, you will be a millionaire at the end of 3 years. Probably, even though that would be a carrot at the end of 3 years, guaranteed you're going to be a millionaire at the end of 3 years. How many of us would really do it and be able to stay focused on that and say, oh, 3 years, I'm going to be a millionaire if I just do this, right? Not a lot of us would. Lee, he likes cold calling. Lee's like, sign me up. But for me, and I've done cold calling before, I just don't like to do it. And so I'm probably not going to do that. So even if it was a method that worked, that was successful, and I had a high probability of success over time, if it's not part of who I am and part of my makeup, I'm not going to do it. That's just the truth, right? And so this is based on the things that it's based on me, right? And this will be based on you. And so your sales activities that you can do comfortably, because if you do them, if you can do them and you don't mind doing them, you're going to continue to do them. What we give up on is the things that we hate to do, and then we kind of talk ourselves, you don't need to do that. Go find, some other way to do it type of thing, right? And so now we have our sales piece designed for us. And now what we're going to do in step 5, so we feed it to the AI and then we copy and paste it down here. Now I'm going to take everything from steps 2, which is remember, it's the companies and the services, who and what I should be selling, basically. And then the marketing is how I should be getting the word out, the marketing piece, and then how I should be selling it, the sales piece. And then we feed all that in here. And then I'm asking the AI, act like you're a chief growth officer, chief revenue officer, and tell me what I should be doing, and I'll do it. And then it builds that up. So it gives me, a profile of who I should be focusing on, what I should be selling, how I should be marketing it, and how I should be selling it when I do, generate leads and stuff like that. And that's kind of it. And that's really what you need. That is the basis of building a business. Your sales engine, your marketing engine, what you're selling and who you're selling, and your market, who you're selling it to. Yeah. I don't know, you guys, are you digging this? I'm digging it, but I'm a geek, I don't know if you guys are digging it or liking it or kind of see, the power of it. I'd like to know what you think of it.
Well, we're getting a lot of really, really good comments. I mean, Olive says this can help people decide on their niche in a way that will help them be successful.
Yes, 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 yes.
And Gloria, I mean, as you were going through this, I was thinking about me. Okay, I was thinking about me and I was thinking, like when I first got started in this business, I thought I should go, and somewhere in the back of my mind, I still think I should go, but I don't anymore because I finally realized I hated it. But I thought to myself, I should go to a lot of network meetings, right? And this is pre-COVID, way, way, way before COVID, obviously. I should go to a lot of network meetings, and I did for like a few years, and I hated it. I hated every moment of it. I'm sure that I came off as less authentic than I might have, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm absolutely positive, although I did get some out of it, I'm absolutely positive that for me personally, 90% of the time that I spent driving to, doing, and coming home from the network meeting was wasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patty says, so hard for many to find a niche. This does that. Amen to that. Just brilliant. And Patty, guess what? You just need one niche.
That's it.
You don't need to be selling to chiropractors and divorce attorneys and HVAC companies and all that stuff. You need one thing where you think, I know these people, I understand these people, talking to these people is easy for me. They all like me. Okay. With Gloria, if you will notice looking at her thing, it's a lot of it's a lot of businesses where there's a lot of detailed information that needs to be communicated in a way that other people can understand it, right? For me personally, if I had gone through this, I'm very sure that it would have spit out, Lee needs to talk to entrepreneurs. That would be about it. Lee needs to talk to entrepreneurs because
Right.
those are the people that I just love, and they love me because we're both talking the same weird language. Janet, you're absolutely right. This can help in deciding a niche for copywriting.
Yes, that's
Absolutely.
right.
This can help in deciding not only what you sell, but who you sell it to. So what you sell, who you sell it to, it's all done here, right? You
That's
know
right.
what you sell. Yeah, I should be selling this. This is me. This feels good. Who should I be selling it to? Well, I should be selling it to that kind of business or that kind of business. And then we get into the, how do you take this and build this out further? And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But let me, as Gloria was doing, let me ask, does anybody have any questions, any comments at this moment? We're not done yet, and we're not giving you the thing that I told you that you needed to get and that's going to blow your mind just yet, because I want you to stay on to the end. And I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm just trying at all, because I don't need to do that. But I'm just trying to make things take, not to give you something before you deeply understand what in the heck you got from Lee and Gloria. Okay, so any questions, any comments at this moment? And if not, we will forge ahead. Gloria, I think we're good.
Yep.
Shall I take back the baton?
Yes, yes, please do.
Peter, I think we're looking at about 10 minutes to the end, according to how questions people have and all that stuff. I think we are looking at 10 to 20 minutes for the end. But guys, listen, this is all recorded. It's going to be up on a web page that I'm going to send you through email. So Peter, even if you missed the last part, you will have it. Even the download that we're going to give you at the end of this will be up there. So don't worry about it. If you need to, don't be late to work. But if you need to go, because you'll still get what you need from this. I'm making myself the presenter, and I'm going to show my screen. Okay. So I'm not going to jump back and go over all this stuff. You understand what's going on here, right? Gloria has used AI and Notion playbooks, all of which is free, in order to create a process that you can go through that's not going to take you but maybe 15, 30 minutes, even if you go through it very thoughtfully and slowly. And it will result in you knowing what to sell, who to sell it to. Now, that's what I referred to earlier as the blueprint. You now have the blueprint of your business. It's going to fit you like hand in glove. But, and you can do this any of many ways, you need to take that blueprint and actually build the building, right? Which I referred to earlier as the Empire State Building, because this is going to be a building that will change your life. So you need to take the blueprint and build the building. And we want to help you if you want us to help you, okay? We want to help you if you want us to help you. We're here for you. You can just take what you got here, totally cool. We're going to give you the link to that form that Gloria just did, along with instructions, so you don't get lost. We're going to give you that link in just a second. But I want to show you what we've got for you. 7-figure masterclass, a proven 30-day plan. In the 7-figure masterclass, session 1, we're top-down design. Session 1, branding, positioning, value proposition, competitive advantage. So look, now, from what Gloria just showed you, you know what to sell and who to sell it to, but now we're going to get a little more granular on that, because you need to be able to communicate this, right? You need to be able to communicate it, perhaps according to how you learn you need to do this, but you need to be able to communicate it through content marketing, through ads, through how you speak to people, et cetera, et cetera. So you need to know who you are. You need to know what your business is. Branding, positioning, value proposition, the thing you bring to the table that nobody else brings, and competitive advantage. Okay, so we're going to start there. That's session 1. You're going to get another section of the playbook that you saw. Okay, you're going to get another whole thing that's going to, in this exactly in the same way that you just saw Gloria do this, it's going to step you using AI through this whole thing, and it's going to give you your branding, your positioning, your value proposition, your competitive advantage. Session 1. We have 3 sessions. After each session, you get the part of the new part of the playbook you need to work through. Session 2, you get that part, et cetera, et cetera. Session 2, marketing playbook. So marketing takes branding, positioning, value proposition, that kind of ethereal stuff, and starts to make it real, right? Okay, so marketing playbook. Well, I don't know. I mean, do I need a Facebook page? Do I need to be posting content on LinkedIn? Do I need to be actually posting long form content on LinkedIn? Should I use Instagram for the market? I mean, there are some of you who really should be using Instagram to get to the niche that you're going to really do well with. Okay, should I be using Instagram? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? You know, what's the best way? What's the best route? What's the best way for me to start to tell my target audience about my business? That you're going to figure out. We're going to show you how to figure that out and give you what you need. Yet another part of your entire marketing playbook in session 2. And session 3 is sales. You know, and honestly, it's like a funnel. It's top down. Branding, positioning, value proposition, competitive advantage takes a lot of thinking. Marketing, you know, you got to put stuff in place. You got to implement stuff, and really, sales guys, that drops out of that. Okay, it's like if you've ever changed your oil in your car, you put the funnel in the top, right, and you pour the oil down through it, and the oil just comes down through the little thing into the engine block, right? So that's the sales playbook. Things like your elevator pitch, things like, and where I'm not suggesting you do, I know what I do. I love paid advertising, and I'm quite good at it, okay? Most people don't think that I'm saying, hint, hint, you're gonna have to do paid advertising. I don't know what the heck you're supposed to do. That's the whole point of this, okay? But if I were gonna go through this, when it got to sales playbook mapped for me, it would be spitting out a lot of text for Google ads and a lot of text for Facebook ads. And maybe now that Twitter's kind of revamped its ad platform, maybe some Twitter ads, I don't know, but it would be spitting that out for me. It would give me my 15-second elevators, you know, pitch. It would be telling me things like what my sales, what my little sales demonstration, once I get somebody on Zoom, if I get somebody on Zoom, I don't know if I need to be doing that. I don't know if you need to be doing that. You're going to figure this all out going through this program. But let's say I did get somebody on Zoom, I was supposed to, and I'm doing it. Sales pitch. What am I supposed to say? How do I say it? How long should it be? What should I be doing? It's going to tell me all of that. No more, like I said, no more confusion, no more chaos, no more failure. Because you're going to know exactly what you need to be shooting at and have the gun to shoot it. I'm an American, so we have guns. So for those of you in other countries. So that's what you're getting out of this masterclass. I'm going to flip over here, and in the chat, I'm going to put the link to the page with the masterclass. It's a very, very, very short sales letter. Understanding the sales letter depends on being on this webinar, or at least looking at the replay. And I'm not trying to bore you with a lot of stuff, but I'm going to walk you through this real fast. Finally, build the business of your dreams using the power of AI. Pay no attention to this video. It's a placeholder. This place is where the replay for what we're doing right now is going to go. Act now and get on our new 7-figure masterclass training. 3-webinar class, dates below. We'll be using AI and playbooks, just as we just showed you, to help you build a business that's individualized to you. By the end of this webinar series, you will know for sure, 100%, how your business should be structured for maximum money and scalability, what to offer, who to offer it to, and exactly how to market yourself in a way that's consistent with your personal strengths and goals. This is all done with AI and Notion playbooks. And notice I said this next sentence is for people who didn't just go through this webinar. You won't understand this unless you see the replay. No more confusion, no more chaos, no more failure. And if you want to take this to another level, Now, what I just described to you is, it should be live now, I think. Let me refresh this page. I'm going to show you the price. Gloria and I are trying to get this down to as low as we can get it, to where it makes sense for us to use our time, but also where we can maximize the number of people that we can get into this, because we believe in this so much. $77 for the masterclass. You don't have to, but if you want to go yet another step and do 6 months of coaching with us, we're offering this to you at only $37 a month, which frankly is like one of the, that is a totally lame price because it's like massively cheaper than it should be, right? And so when you check out, let me show you what to do if you want the coaching. Now, what the coaching is going to do is just more, basically, we're going to coach you through. So after the masterclass, you're going to have an entire playbook. You're going to know who to sell it, you know, who to sell it to, how to sell it. You're going to have your branding positioning. You're going to know what your marketing plan is. You're going to know what to do when somebody wants you to talk to them or see them on Zoom. In other words, sales stuff. You're going to know all that stuff. The 6 months, though, is to walk you through the implementation of this. Okay? So we're walking you through the implementation of this. You don't have to have this, but it's going to be pretty amazing if you get it. Now, how to get it? $77 for the masterclass. When you click on that, assuming that your computer's not really slow, when you click on that, limited seating, check the box and get our 6-month, 7-figure masterclass ongoing coaching. That is 1 webinar and 1 Zoom call per month. Access to what we're going to create even more materials through this, access to all these materials, just $37 a month. Look at this price, $77. I'm going to click this. This is added to that. This is what we call a bump offer. That is added to that. Okay, guys? That's what John, let me answer that. Let me do my best to answer that question in just a second. But that's going to add that to your cart. Okay. So, anybody got any questions? You know, I'm trying not to kill you with information. Okay. So anybody got any questions about the masterclass or the ongoing coaching? Any questions about this? I put the link to this in the chat. If you need for me to put it in there again, Rob, you're just going to want, yeah, hey buddy, you're just really going to want to watch this. You've been on a lot of webinars with us. You know, we always deliver the goods. This is going to freaking blow your mind. Anybody who wants to challenge that statement now who's been on the webinar can. But Rob, I'm just going to use your little comment there just to make sure everybody gets the link to the master's class.
Let me drop in before
That's
I forget
what I got,
the link to there's a document I'm going to give you right now, okay? And it has the instructions for how to download Notion or how to sign up for Notion. And then in that document, there's a link to the actual Notion playbook that we just went through. Everything is on that one Google Docs, and I'm sending it right now. So you have that. You should have everything you need. Any questions, guys? Any questions or comments, thoughts? Because really it's important because it helps me to help you
we
better.
want to make sure you totally understand what you're looking at here.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. I can't, I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. So I've got to look at the questions and okay. Make sure I've got this. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm just looking at some questions, guys. So, Mike has a good question. Yeah, I think it's yeah, LinkedIn. How to market LinkedIn proper. Yeah, yeah. LinkedIn, is a little bit of a different animal, and we have a very and LinkedIn has actually changed quite a bit. And I grew up on LinkedIn, right? I mean, that's how I made most of my money was on LinkedIn, and it's changed since we had the software and all that stuff. Those techniques really aren't effective anymore. So yeah, you'll definitely need other strategies, more engagement, any of the webinars. This is a great question from Art. Did you see that question, Lee, that Art had about you can't attend any of the webinars? We'll be able to ask questions in some way. I think really through
Oh,
support.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. We'll make sure that you have access so that you can ask questions. And for those of you that are not in the Facebook group, Lee and I are in there every day. And the reason why we set the Facebook group up, and we do a free webinar in the Facebook group once a month because we want to really add value. And so it is really designed not to hang out on Facebook, but it's designed for if you have a question about strategy or tactic, not about, I can't, just like, where's this in my members area? It's not really for that, but it's really for, I'm struggling a little bit, should I go this way or that way? That's why we're doing it, is so we can kind of help guide you as you kind of come up with these little mini forks in a road that we all do. And so Art, if you join the Facebook group, if you're not already in there, then that would be a big help. You'd have access as well. So,
Gloria, check Skype. I just asked you a
oh,
question that someone asked me.
um,
So Art, yeah, and this is Art and everybody else. I
mhm.
mean, we really, and those of you who've known us a long time, Olive, you've known us a long time, Patty, Mike, etc. Um, we're here to help. I mean, we both love teaching and we both love watching people have success at this stuff because we both know how freaking life-changing it is when the dust finally settles and you say, oh, wow, I know how to build one of these businesses. I know how to run these businesses. It will absolutely change everything for you. And we want that to happen. So Art and everybody else, we're very open to questions, very open,
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And Lois, you were right from the very beginning. It's like it's very hard to level up, right? And a lot of the reason is once you figure out exactly your place in this whole thing, it works because you're authentic. It's who you are, it's what you do, and you do it and you do really great at it because you've kind of figured on your secret formula, which is going to be different than my secret formula, and that's what this is really designed to do. This is from all those years of experience that Lee and I have, and saying, okay, what are the roadblocks and how can we help get rid of those roadblocks for you guys?
well, Gloria, if somebody told me I
Oh,
had
this is
to
for me.
be Gloria,
Yeah.
and I had to be Gloria and run Gloria's business like for a day, much less for a longer period of time, I think I would really consider shooting myself. I mean, I
Right.
really would because it's like everything that you do that you're so remarkably good at is like the things that I avoid like poison ivy. It's amazing. Mike is in. We've had several people buy this already, including the coaching. John, absolutely, buddy. This is really, and John's in too, folks. John and everybody else. If you're struggling, if you can't get traction, if you're trying stuff and it's kind of sort of working, but it's not working, works for everybody else, but it doesn't work for me. Who besides me has ever had that thought? It's amazingly frustrating. It really damages your self-esteem.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
this is going to get rid of all that, right? I mean, when you are doing what I call preaching to the
Hmm.
choir, okay? When
Yep.
you got the right message going to the right people and selling them the right thing, and they wanted it anyway. See, that's part of the secret. You're not pushing stuff on people. They've been looking for you anyway. I mean, you're literally like out in the forest trying to find someone who's trying to find you.
Mm-hmm.
right? And that makes everything, when you get all that stuff, I can't remember who it was, Mike, it may have been you or somebody, and I apologize if I got the wrong person, who had said congruent. When you got all that stuff congruent, you got all those things working together, this business really becomes very easy, John and everybody else. And we're talking about it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
is it a real business? Yes. Do you have to go to work? Yes. Are you going to hate going to work now? No. Are you going to really, really, really wonder about yourself? Maybe a little bit. I mean, we all do. We're all human, but not to the extent that, can I do this? Does this work? Is this all just a bunch of crap that these guys thought of so they can sell me crap? All that, all those self-hatey type thoughts. Those are going to maybe not totally go away, because I think all humans have them, frankly, but that voice, that loud voice of defeat, is going to become much quieter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what this is going to do for you. Olive, Gloria put in the link to, and Olive, I know you already know this. I'm just kind of springboarding off of your comment here. Gloria put the link to the free Notion playbook along with instructions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you never used Notion.so, you need instructions. It's easy to use once you know how, by the way. Even I can use it. But
extremely easy.
a big difference between me and Gloria. Gloria looks at stuff like this and it's self-evident to her. I look at stuff like this and I think, are there any nails I could eat before I actually do this? So, click the link, get the instructions, get in there, and try to go through the dates on the webinars, March the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, i.e. next week at 3 p.m. Now, with the caveat that, if somebody gets hit by a meteor, we're going to have to move the date and the time, okay? But, we're pretty steady, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
21st,
Yeah.
22nd, 23rd, 3 p.m. Now, if you do the coaching consists of, for 6 months, one webinar, one Zoom call, okay? The webinar will always be on the first Tuesday of each month at 3 p.m. Links to everything when you get in, except for one thing, and I'll explain that to you in a minute so there's no confusion. The Zoom calls will be held on the third Tuesday of that same month, all right? So April, I think the first Tuesday is the 4th, and the third Tuesday is the 18th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So webinar on the 4th, Zoom call on the 18th. Webinar is teaching you stuff and showing you stuff. Zoom call is answering questions, making sure we're connecting, going
Mm-hmm.
deeper into things that, that we tried to communicate or didn't communicate, getting rid of stumbling blocks. That's what that Zoom call is for.
Yeah.
Everything recorded, everything put in the members area. Now the Zoom call, the webinar stuff, you should be automatically registered for. However, that does not always happen. So inside the members area, you will see the links where you, like for the masterclass, one link, register, you're automatically registered for all 3 webinars. For the coaching, one link, register, you're already registered for all of these 6 webinars through the next 6 months. That'll go through September. The Zoom information, how to get on the Zoom call, I have to put in there. I'll put it in there a few days before each call. Otherwise, it's going to be horribly confusing. I'm just saying that that's a detail. I just want you to make sure. I just want to make sure that when you get in, you don't well, Lee, where the hell are the Zoom calls? I'm going to put them in there a couple of days before the Zoom call. Patty, while mind-blowing to figure all this out, it is mind clarification to be your authentic self in your business. Yeah. Patty, just between the lines, I think, tell me if I'm going out on a limb here and I'm saying the wrong thing. I kind of get the feeling from you being on webinars and from your comments and stuff that this clarification has started to clarify for you maybe within the past year or so, or past 6 months or so, and it's starting to get really clear. And this is going to take what you've got and totally focus. You're going to quit doing what you don't need to be doing. You're going to quit approaching who you don't need to approach. You're going to quit trying marketing methods that you don't need to be sending out there in ways that you don't need to be sending them out, so that you can take all of that energy, and especially, guys, all of that emotional energy. You're going to take all of that emotional energy, you're going to laser focus it on the right things. And it's going to blow your mind how fast your business is going to grow. Patty, once we get clear and our business is up and running, will the weekly webinars be for expanding on chat? Yeah, Patty, yes. Yeah, the reason we did it for 6 months is because our goal is to take the master class, which basically you're going to come out of the master class with a full Notion playbook that will show, you'll know what to sell, who to sell it to, how to market, all the stuff that we talked about. And the 6-month coaching is to make sure that that gets implemented and stays implemented. Yeah, Art, recently Gloria and I started a Facebook group. We started this as of people had been asking us for a long time to do it, and honestly, I was the one dragging his feet because this is the thing that Lee thought he didn't like. I actually love the Facebook group, although, like I told y'all, I'm not in there that much, Gloria's. But, I'm just being honest. This is the thing that I, knew that I hated. And not that I hate you, I just hate Facebook groups. I've got an issue, but I need therapy. But anyway, I was the one that said, nah, being real grumpy about it. And Gloria's, you really might want to. And then some people, Patty, frankly, among them said, we really need this. So we did it. But the Facebook group started out it hadn't always existed. It is available for people who buy our products as of the last thing that we sold. Okay. As of the last thing that we sold. So Art, you get into the mastermind, you get into the coaching, you will get into the Facebook group. And the Facebook group, I think it rocks, Gloria. It's not a bunch of fluff. It is just, it's just growing. It's starting to grow, and it is people helping people with a common thing helping people. So cool beans.
Yeah.
Rob, yeah.
Yep, Rob.
Lee Cole Grumpy Impossible. Yeah, Gloria.
No. So yeah, and it is the Facebook group. We really wanted it to be about a resource. You know what I'm saying? So it is designed not for us to hang out and waste time in there all day, but it's there. If it's there, and we're there if you need us, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. So. Gloria, what else we got? I mean, I feel like I don't feel like I missed anything. Guys, did I miss anything? We went through what Gloria had created, which was, I told you, it would be mind-blowing. It was totally mind-blowing. We've given you the free beginning of that, an entire notebook, part of your Notion.so playbook that will get you to understanding what you need to sell, who to sell it to, and how to what you need to sell and who to sell it to. And then the masterclass is going to flesh out the how to sell it and all of that stuff, the details, the actual business details. We've given you that. You got the link to that. If somebody can't find it, let us know. We'll pop it in the chat again. And we've told you about the masterclass. And I also told you about the coaching that you can get if you want to with the masterclass. So John, you bet, buddy. Thank you for being on here. John says, thank you for your expertise. Looking forward to the coaching.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to the coaching. No, I hate Facebook groups. I'm starting to love them, but I love coaching.
I do too. I really love that, connecting and stuff like that. And and we really wanted to share this whole Notion thing with you, because that is how business people run businesses, that kind of have a bunch of bits and pieces by being very efficient. And so we really wanted to introduce you to tools that real businesses use. So as you get up and running, it's going to be a resource for you. I can tell you, I use Notion for my other business. It's like my Bible, and I use it, and I documented everything in it. It's crazy, and it really helps quite a bit. So,
Gloria and Lois, you got a comment. Gloria needs to answer that, because Gloria's like the Notion genius. I mean, Gloria saw Notion and already knew how to do it. She shows it to me. I thought, man, that's incredible. I look at it and break out in hives. Okay, so I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, Lois, Olive, thank you so much. And
We're looking
I'm
forward to you
really,
being there,
yeah,
Olive.
yeah. And Lois, what you can do with the Crystal extension on LinkedIn is the only way to connect it with Notion would be, I think, through the API. So you'd have to see if the Crystal API does that. But what you can do is you can create a hyperlink inside of Notion for Crystal. And so you don't have to go to the Crystal website or whatever. You could click directly onto Crystal if that's a capability. But I think unless it has the API, you can't bring it in the way like
You know,
integrated,
guys,
so.
I mean,
But I'll check on that for you.
and your Notion playbook, this playbook, okay, you got it, the beginnings of it for free today. You're going to get, we're going to walk you through building the whole thing in the master class, and then we're going to walk you through the entire implementation of it through the coaching. But Gloria, you run your entire business now through a Notion playbook. I mean, it's astounding. Gloria doesn't even have to like get out on the, she doesn't have to have all these tabs open. She doesn't have to wonder where stuff is. She's probably not like I am. She doesn't have these endless lists of things, that open up this endless menu. Where was that link? It's like 30 things down, but she's got it all there. And as you go through this and as you start implementing it, Lois and everybody else, the playbook that not only are you going to get through us, but that you're going to be building, you're going to be adding onto it and building it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the heart of your business. It is going to end up being just like if you go out and buy a McDonald's franchise, besides maybe going to McDonald's University or something. If you buy a McDonald's franchise, you're going to get this ginormous book that tells you freaking everything from how to unlock the doors to how to make a double quarter pounder with cheese.
That's right. Yep.
That's what your Notion playbook, as you work with it, as you build it with us, but as you work with it through the coaching, your Notion playbook is going to end up being basically your complete operations manual for your entire freaking business. That's why I say no more confusion, no more chaos, no more failure, because you're going to know exactly what to do and how to do it. Okay?
Yep.
Any other questions, guys? We've been on here an hour and a half. I deeply, deeply appreciate your time. We don't want to, abuse your time, but we wanted to give this the full attention that it needed because it's brand new. Okay, it's brand new. So we wanted to really walk you through it slowly enough to where you could get it and say, oh, wow, man, this really is what Lee said it was. Totally cool. But any questions before we go? Mark, you bet, buddy.
Thank you.
Good to see you on the webinar. Any questions before we go? Webinar gets downloaded, it gets fixed up, it gets uploaded, it gets put on. You bet, Dennis. When the webinar replay will be on this page right there, and the webinar replay will be right here. It just takes several hours to go through that thing. Mike, have fun at lunch. It really is a life-altering process. We will see you on the first webinar. William, we're looking forward to starting with you too. Download, Don's confused about the download. Gloria, can you give Don the link to the Google Doc? Don, Gloria's going to put the link in there for you. This Google Doc is, I don't know if you were on the webinar from the beginning, but this Google Doc is instructions on how to use Notion.so and also how to get to the part of the playbook that Gloria created for you that we're giving to you for free. Yeah, Don, I mean, it's all cool, buddy.
Yeah. Should I share my screen really quick?
Oh, please. Yeah. Let's just make this super clear for people.
Go through, because that way I don't want anyone.
No, I was sitting here wondering if we should do that. Let's just make this super clear for people. So, guys, we pretty much told you what we need to tell you. We're just sitting here answering questions, and Gloria's gonna. Okay, Gloria, you are now the presenter. So.
Yep. So,
Walk people through this.
yep. So what you're getting is in the agency now, the free playbook. So all of this stuff is, for the coaching and stuff, but you're actually going to get this one piece of the playbook. And this is what we went over today. And I kind of walked through it. And what we did is we created this document, and I just dropped the link in to go to webinar, and it has like how to sign up. So we did screenshots here, like go here and sign up. And then here it says how to duplicate and use the Notion template. Here's if you want more information, but this will give you what you need. So you go to this link here. It starts with Saber Louse. I don't know why they have Saber Louse, Notion site, 7-figure playbook. That is this thing right here. Okay, 7-figure playbook. That is this thing. It's the copy link for what that I did. When I share it, I have to use this link. And so all you've got to do is once you sign up for Notion, you're going to click on this link, and then it'll automatically put it in your private section right here. So there'll be a private section of your Notion, and you can see here it says duplicate. So you're going to click on that link, and then you're going to click on the duplicate button. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on, mine says share, but yours will say duplicate. Okay, and all you're going to do is you're going to click on the button here that says duplicate, and then what it'll do is it'll automatically bring it in under the private section of Notion. You can see that, but you might need to wait just a few seconds for it to populate in there, but you see the picture, it'll be put right in there for you automatically, and then you'll be able to click on it, and then you'll be able to access it. So that's pretty much how to use the Notion site. So
and Gloria's talking about the Notion playbook that we just went through on the webinar that we're giving you for free. And furthermore, anybody, if you just get confused, I mean, you just like she said, click where? I can't find the darn thing. I mean, don't get frustrated. Open a support ticket. We're here to help you. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Any other things, guys? Any other questions, comments before we wrap it up? Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. I mean, it's okay if you don't get the coaching. That's totally cool, and it's okay if you don't get the, don't get the master class. I really hope you do. I really hope you do, and it goes beyond the fact that Lee will make a few bucks when you do. I really hope you do, because I know what this is going to do for you. I know that for most of you, this is going to remove all of that stuff that's been in your way, that's kind of dogging you. You got a business, but you're not quite making enough money. You keep trying to make a business, but you can't land a client, all that stuff, all that frustration. We're going to solve that. Okay. So I really kind of hope you get this for you. And I will make a couple of bucks, but I'm really hoping. But honestly, you're going to make a ton more money from getting this than Gloria and I will ever get from you.
Yeah, I think it'll give you, well, it'll give you clarity, right? And that's why, like, if we really wanted to make a ton of money, we would take it to a different market and mark up the price, 10x or something like that, right? Because it's worth it. But we don't want to do that. We want, we're here because we like working with you. We like helping you because we've been there before. The ones that already kind of got it going on, I really don't care about. But the ones that really are kind of trying to make it work, I really do care about. And so that's why we're doing this. So, but it's totally up to you. It's all good either way. We're just here to kind of help and add value and make sure that it's a fair trade value for value.
And Gloria actually does care about you. What she's saying is, I mean, if your business is just firing on all cylinders, it's going great, you might really want to, get the Notion thing and get the coaching anyway, because it's going to transform how you do things, because nobody but Gloria has ever put these two things together like you've seen. But you might not need it, right? But everybody else flat out needs this. So there we have it, guys. Thank you so much Thank you for being in our world. Thank you
Yes,
for
thank you for your
being here on the webinar. For those of you who are just catching this on the replay, thank you. Got any questions about this? Everybody's got links to support. Hit me up in support. We're totally transparent and just happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you so much. We will see y'all very, very soon. And for those of you who are getting in on this, we will see you on the first masterclass.
Yes, for sure. Excited. See you guys. Have a great rest of the day.